the biggest stage in golf, the PGA Tour. And I'm curious to hear a little bit about where that desire, that aspiration came from at such a young age, and what your journey looked like from the beginning.
When I was a kid, I got a set of Fisher-Price plastic golf clubs from my dad and my mom when I was 2. And I remember, well, I don't remember, I was 2, but I remember seeing on home videos me playing with that. And then I do remember in the backyard playing with it a lot. And that just kind of grew into watching my dad and my granddad play. And then I kind of realized, you know, I was too fat when I was a kid to play basketball. And I was like, golf is pretty much the only thing I could kind of do better than other people at sometimes. So I kept going with that, and through high school, played high school and middle school golf, and then college. I just kind of realized this is something I want to do, and then realizing later in life that this was a bigger picture, not something I wanted to do, but something God put in me to do. So that's kind of where I'm at.
You said that it was something you knew at one time you wanted to do. Talk to us a little bit more about that in terms of when you knew you actually wanted to pursue it as a career. What did that look like in your life? How'd that begin to happen?
Well, it was in college. I guess in high school and college, I started to realize that I didn't have any other desire to do anything else. That this is kind of the only thing that I really, I guess, looking back, it's kind of the only desire God put in my heart to do for a career, for a lifestyle, to influence other people, to bring Kelsey. Once Kelsey got into my life and things for us together to do things with it. I just kind of knew in college. There was nothing. I mean, I couldn't tell you anything about my major in college because I kind of just knew that this is what I wanted to do.
I mean, in anything that we were pursuing that's a big goal in our lives, it takes a big commitment. It takes a lot of hard work. How did you stay motivated, even as a junior golfer and through college? Talk to us a little bit about that in terms of what that looked like, pursuing your goal back then, even now today.
Well, I think a lot of us can relate to it, whether it's sports, whether it's business, whether it's anything. Until you reach where you think you can get, you always keep pushing. And I think that's something that I still feel like I've got a long way to go. I don't feel like, I figure it out. Even the best days, you go out and you shoot the best score of your life, you still think there's something I could do better. And there's always something that I could get better at. And I enjoy watching other players. Like I enjoy watching the guys this week and seeing like, okay, that's something I still need to get better at. So it gives me a passion and a drive to keep going and to get better each day with that.
Good. Let's backtrack a little bit. As a junior golfer, you had these high hopes and ambitions, and you pursued it. It led you to playing competitively in college, and I'm sure to some degree, you had all the time and energy in the world to give it whatever it needed. But then a girl by the name of Kelsey came into your life. Talk to us a little bit about how that all developed, how it started. Kelsey, you can chime in on this as well.
She does better at telling this story, so I'm going to let her tell how we met and everything.
Okay, so we met on eHarmony, and we were 3 hours apart, actually. So the first date, we met up in the middle at a place called Bowling Green, Kentucky, and we went bowling. So that was super fun. I beat him, of course. He said he let me win because he was scared to sweat, but whatever. So after that, we just kept doing the long distance thing, and we were dating for 9 months, and then he proposed, and then we got married 7 months later.
Wow, 9 months. How did you guys know that you were the ones for each other?
I think we kind of knew in the first month. We were, kind of talking to our parents, and our parents were kind of like, slow your roll a little bit, ease up. Our parents have seen us get hurt by others before, and other things like that, and they're like, hey, y'all did meet on the internet, so that's more than a month before you start making lifelong commitments. But we knew pretty easily. There was just a peace, a calmness. There was no stress. There was no should we text, should we not text, saying the right thing or not. It was just kind of like, no, it's like we were friends before we were friends.
Yeah.
Kelsey, what did you think of these dreams, these goals, these aspirations that Jared had to pursue professional golf? Was that something that excited you? Was it something that were like, I really don't know what to make of all this. How did you process that, and then even kind of jump on board and become his biggest cheerleader?
Well, I knew nothing about golf before I met Jared. I played like the little junior thing where you play like 3 holes or something. But anyway, so when we met, Jared was still just doing mini tours. And then we get married, and then he goes to final stage and finishes 15th, right? So then he gets pretty much the whole year guaranteed. And then we didn't know about all the travel with that. So here we are, first year married, and then you have Jared's gone over half the year.
In other countries.
Yeah. So
With
there's
no cell phone service.
So there's communication issues already when you're trying to learn everything about each other your first year, and then you throw in different time zones, different countries. FaceTime doesn't work. Wi-Fi, you have to have a Wi-Fi. So it was a crazy first year. We had our ups and downs, a lot of downs, but we got through them. And like at first, you know, I would say I supported Jared, but my actions weren't really showing it. I would complain that, oh, I'm home alone, I'm by myself, you're getting to go all these cool places, and I'm just working. You know, I love my job, but I mean, come on, he's going to all these cool places or whatever. So I wasn't showing him that I was supporting him. And after that first year, like, we both did a lot of talking, and I think it was Jose Alvarez and his wife counseled with us, because they're the leaders of the tour life on theweb.com, and just he kind of asked me, like, didn't you know you were signing up for this when you told him yes? And that kind of got to me, and I just, like, I started praying, and I just said, God, like, help me change my heart, because I want to be the #1 supporter for him. So from then on, like, I mean, it didn't happen overnight, of course, but I wish it would have. But slowly, like, I've started to realize, like, just because, you know, I'm not being able to travel with him full time right now because I'm working and everything to support his dream, but God has me where I am for a reason too. So I'm doing my best to shine God's light to the little kids that I nanny and things like that. And I got involved with my church celebration in our sub-30 groups. I'm a leader now, so I'm diving into the girls in my group and just, like, focusing on what God has for me and supporting him at the same time for what God has for him. So
that's neat. I think a lot of people would say that the first year of marriage is hard enough in and of itself, let alone adding the tour schedule on top of it, all the travel. Jared, talk a little bit about your perspective. You know, Kelsey just shared a little bit of hers, but obviously you guys went into marriage excited and had all these high hopes and aspirations, and I'm sure that some of these thoughts that you had in terms of what you thought it would be wasn't exactly the reality as you were in the midst of it. How did you process and deal with that, being so far away in the midst of playing tour golf? Share with us a little bit about that.
Not very well at the time. All I wanted to do was make sure Kelsey was okay. And as a husband, like, as in a guy, that's really tough to do when you're in a different country, and it just adds a lot of pressure, it adds a lot of anxiety, it kind of exhausts you a little bit. And so I never really understood until the year had passed, because it had gone by like a flash, how much it affected the performance of golf. And that's something that we talked about together. And so the steps that she's making are also steps that I'm making. I'm learning how to deal with it better. I'm learning how to process things better. Some of you guys, I'm sure, have been married for much longer than we have, and you know that I'm sure it's still something that you're going to keep learning as you go. But she's going to still be learning me as well. But it's so much better. It's so much better. When we're gone, we're apart. There's so much more peace. There's so much more calmness. It's it's back to what I talked about when we first met. I think expectations are out the window now. It's more of, this is what we're at, this is where we're at, this is what we're doing, and that's kind of where we're at, and it's so much better. Travel is so much easier, and it's just a lot better. Yeah.
What are a couple things, tangibly speaking, that you guys would say have really allowed each other to feel really supported in the midst of this journey?
like I said, for her, is I just want to know she's okay. Like, I want to know she's got some friends that she's hanging out with. She's just met so many friends. Some of them are here this morning, and I thank you all for taking care of my wife while I'm gone. It's just, like I said, whenever she's at peace, it makes me feel a lot better. And I know that sometimes she sucks some things up. She's like, all right, I'll handle this. You just take care of what you need to take care of when you're golfing, and when you come home, we'll deal with it. And that, to me, that lets me kind of compartmentalize it, and put it over there, and put it on the shelf, and deal with it when I get home. And that's great. And that's something that I feel that support, and that's encouragement. That's more to me than, hey, good luck, go play well, I love you. Yeah. That speaks more to me than that.
Yeah. How about you, Kelsey?
And for me, my love language is quality time. So when you're gone a lot, that's kind of difficult. But we've worked, through some things, and FaceTime is a huge thing. But really, the most support I feel is when, like, he just, sends me a little text, like right before he tees off. He just says, I love you, and he turns his phone right off, and I don't even have time to respond sometimes. But it just shows me that he's still thinking about me, and he knows that I'm there, and he's not just, it's all golf all the time. It's not. It's, I still love my wife. I'm thinking about you. I remember you. I'm not forgetting about you. So just little things like that.
I mean, it's pretty clear, just listening to their story already, how important God is in their lives, not only as individuals, but as a couple. And I'm curious, in light of the relationship you both have with Jesus Christ, how have you seen tour golf kind of shape your understanding of who you are as individuals?
Tour golf, it's almost like it almost amplifies our relationship with each other and our relationship with God as a couple and as individuals. But I mean, tour life, like I said, it's the those first 5 months or first 5 or 6 weeks of the web.com that year, we were out of the country. So I mean, it just kind of baptized by fire our relationship as a married couple. And but it showed us a lot. It showed us patience. It showed us love, grace, forgiveness, support, encouragement. Just, I mean, pretty much everything you can think of. It's been wonderful. It's a blessing looking back at it, and at the time it wasn't. We didn't think it'd be a blessing, but it's become that now.
And another thing that we've learned, like, people tell you all the time, like, when you're growing up, like, oh, when you find your husband, he's not going to complete you, and you don't really understand that at first. But then when we did get married, like, the first year too, I was putting all of my joy in him, and you can't do that. My joy comes from Christ. And so ever since I kind of actually really realized that and changed my heart, like, it's made it so much better too, because just like golf, you have good days, bad days, and in life you're gonna have good days and bad days. So when there is something, tension going on between us, like, at the end of the day, it doesn't matter. Like, God's going to be my comfort and strength, and, I can talk to him anytime I want. So when I miss him or just feeling lonely, just talk to him, and he brightens my day and just cheers me up. So
why for the both of you would you say that a relationship with Jesus Christ is the most important thing? Whether you want to speak personally or whether you want to speak to people here in this crowd, why should people consider Jesus? What has he done for you? Why is he the most important thing to both of you individually and as a couple?
Well, like I was saying before, like, my joy comes from Christ, and if I didn't have him, like, I'd be miserable at home, because if I was putting all of my joy in him, like, if he's not there half the time, like, how am I ever going to be happy? So if I didn't have him, like, I wouldn't have that comfort and peace. And then especially, like, when, he has a bad round or bad tournament or whatever, like, it doesn't matter if he misses a cut. Like, God's taking care of us, and he's always going to be there for us no matter what, and he loves us unconditionally. And, we're humans. We make mistakes, we mess up, but, God's always there, and he's never going to leave. So
I mean, just, adding on to that, as far as our marriage goes, it's the rock of our marriage. It's what got us through that first year, and made, he was our constant. He was our thing, that no matter what happened between us, God being at the center of it, everything was going to be okay. And now in our personal relationships, I mean, it's something that we pray every morning. We try to pray every night. And we try to, keep God at the focus of our lives as a couple and as individuals. Like I said, because it's a constant. It's something we can go back to. It's something that leads us. It's just the cornerstone, the foundation. That flat line for us. It's our constant, and it's just awesome. It's a piece that it's that piece that you're looking for. It's that something that like Kelsey can't be this for me. She can try, and I can try to be that for her. But at the end, we're going to fall short. So it's Jesus and that relationship that we have with Him completes that, surrounds that, and makes what we have better.
Thank you for that. When I was coming in, I like food, and I did see some delicious looking fig bars on the table over to the right. I'm hoping you both can share a little bit about your relationship with Nature's Bakery real quick and help these people understand why they have the opportunity to enjoy some of these fig bars this morning.
A small jackpot when I got married to Kelsey that I had really no idea about. She said, I run a food blog. I'm like, oh, that's cool. So you tweet about food. That's cute. I didn't realize that she has a blog that people send her free food. And I'm like you, man. I love food. I love food. And so Kelsey she does a great job running a blog, and she got sent these fig bars, and it changed our life. They were so amazing. I mean, they're like fig Newtons, but healthier and taste better. So she got those, and we've been extremely blessed and fortunate to kind of have a little partnership with them. They just kind of, they give us some fig bars to share with other people. And so I know a bunch of our friends have loved them, and so we hope you guys take as many as you want. We don't want to take any home. You all take as much as you want and share them with your friends. Enjoy them.
Let me pray for you guys. Father, I thank you for Jared and Kelsey, and I thank you for the work that you've already done and that you're continuing to do in their lives. Father, I thank you for blessing Jared with an incredible skill and ability to play this game so well. Father, I pray that he would continue to play it to your glory. Lord, that you'd bless his hard work and efforts. Father, that you would give Kelsey just wisdom and endurance to support and love Jared well. I thank you for the cheerleader that she's become for him and is for him. Father, I pray that they would continue to look to you first and foremost as the center of their lives and their marriage, that you would draw them closer to one another, Lord, as they desire to become closer to you. We thank you for their time with us today and pray this in your name. Amen. Thank you, guys.